Yo YouTube, what is good? Welcome back to another video. Now I know you guys are seeing my team right now. The reason why my team looks like this is because I sold off all my team. But that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is the best abilities both on the offensive side and the defensive side, and we'll honestly even throw in special teams as well. Just the best ability setups that I think there are in the game. Now I'll kind of go over it based on each position, what I think is most valuable to least valuable. So we'll basically just be going over that today. So if this video does help you out in any way, shape, or form, again, this is the updated version of this after Zero Chill. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what else you guys want to see down in the comment section below. And let's go ahead and get into the top abilities in Madden 25 Ultimate Team right now. So we're gonna go over here for MUT.gg, starting off at the quarterback position. So what we're gonna do is basically, I'm gonna use this Jeff Garcia as a perfect example. I think the #1 ability on this game is still going to be Gunslinger. You guys definitely are going to want to come over here and click on Gunslinger. You can do this on any quarterback that you want, and it's going to take you to this page that has Gunslinger. It has all the quarterbacks with Gunslinger in the game, but it also will show you the AP discount players that have Gunslinger. I think you guys should definitely be trying to go over here and get any one of these quarterbacks on the list. You don't have to necessarily, but I do think it would allow you to have more abilities on your quarterback to make your quarterback that much better. But like I said, I'm going to use Jeff Garcia as an example. So he gets 2 AP Gunslinger. This allows you to have 2 AP Gunslinger so that you can have other abilities on. The next ability that we're going to be talking about is Master Tactician. I think Master Tactician is another one of those abilities that has come about right now just because we're getting better quarterbacks with better stats. Therefore, they're going to get better abilities. Now, what Master Tac is you get 4 extra hot routes. So that's Hot Route Master. You get Make Hot Routes Faster, which is basically Conductor, and then you get Playmaker, which is more immediate playmaker reaction. So you get 3 abilities in one for 4 AP. Now, of course, we don't get any AP discounts with this right now. This ability is really good. Obviously, you're going to want to put this on as well in the future when this gets AP discounted. But right now, we don't have that, so that's why I am saying that specifically. But going back over here to Jeff Garcia, with that being said, if you do 2 AP Gunslinger, that's 6. So for 7, or if you have 3 AP Gunslinger, that would put you at 7, then put you at 6. So this one, I would say put on Gift Wrap. You should put on Gift Wrap 100%. And then if you have 1 left over, if you have 2 AP Gunslinger, you should put on Lofting Deadeye. What Gift Wrap is, let's just go take a look over here really quickly at what Gift Wrap is. It's basically a better chance to complete passes to uncover receivers. So basically those diving catches that receivers drop a lot of the time, as soon as your receiver gets hands on ball, they basically catch it every time. They're gonna have some drop passes just because of KOs and everything like that, but I do think this ability is really good for 1 AP. And then lastly, if you have that extra AP, I think Lofting Deadeye is going to be the ability for you. It's just perfect accuracy on lob or touch passes. This is definitely going to be very effective if you guys like throwing the ball down the field, if you like pushing the ball down the field. Your players have absolutely burned somebody on the streak. You get perfect accuracy. You're going to be able to complete that ball. You're going to be able to complete the pass. And that is the ability stack that I would recommend for quarterbacks. Again, you guys want to try to get discounted Gunslinger just so that you can get all these other abilities on, but at the minimum, you should have Gunslinger for 4 AP and Master Tac. And then if you have AP discount, you can also do Lofting Deadeye and Gift Wrap. So here's the thing. If you don't want to use your AP on your quarterback, I mean, you're honestly putting yourself at a disadvantage. I know not everybody likes to throw the ball over the field, so I am going to recommend some other abilities for you guys to be putting on your wide receivers. So we're going to talk about wide receivers here next. I think the #1 ability you should be putting on your wide receivers is going to be Route Technician. Obviously, this Julio Jones doesn't have it. There are some other cards. Again, you just go to MUT.gg, you click on a wide receiver that has Route Tech, or you could just search the ability as well, but you can search and find those players that have that. I just think, again, you should be putting all your AP on your quarterback, but if you want to put something on your wide receiver, I would say put on Route Tech. Another one that I think is really good is going to be Grab and Go and Human Joystick, but that is something you can also put on your running backs if you want. It's just going to allow for better turn and change of directions after a rat catch. Obviously, Human Joystick is without a rat catch, so if they don't necessarily do a rat catch, this is more better for like running backs and stuff, but Grab and Go definitely on your wide receivers as well. But again, I think you should be using all your AP on your quarterback. The same thing can be said for tight ends. I definitely think you should do that as well. They also have some other abilities as well. This will kind of just tie into tight ends and running backs. But if you go over here and check out, I don't know if he has it here. He does have, let me see, does he have tank? I don't see tank on this card, but the ability is called tank. So see, this card gets route tech, so you guys can see that. But yeah, tank. This is a really good ability from the standpoint of it breaks hit stick tackles. Have you guys ever played against a player and you're hit sticking them and they don't ever go down after a hit stick? It's because they have this ability on. It's 2 AP, so I mean, you could try to put it on your running back. If you are going to put something on your running back or your tight end, that's what I would say. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say for the offensive side of the ball. I don't really think it's worth right now to put abilities on your offensive line. But with that being said, because not a lot of people are going to have abilities on their offensive line, that's going to open up things on the defensive side of the ball. So let's go ahead and flip sides of the ball, and I'll go ahead and go over what I think are the best abilities on that side of the ball. So the number one ability on the defensive side of the ball, in my humble opinion, pretty sure this is a widely known thing, but if you don't know, mid-zone KO. Mid-zone KO is the best ability in this game, especially if you play zone coverage. If you play man coverage, this isn't going to really matter, but if you play zone coverage, this is the number one defensive ability in the game. So I've even got evidence to back up my claim of me saying that is the best ability in the game. This right here is a chart of where mid-zone KO will trigger in zone coverage. Obviously, again, if you don't play zone coverage, this won't apply to you, but in zone coverage, this is where the ability is going to trigger. It triggers in all this part in the middle of the field, in between the numbers, in between 10 to 20 yards outside the numbers, and 0 to 20. So this is the most effective zone knockout ability in the game. Obviously, deep in is going to be here, and then deep out is going to be over here and over here. Then flat zone is over here. So if you're going to put on a zone KO, you should put on mid zone, because obviously this triggers in most of the places where people are going to be completing passes on you, whether that's seam streaks, corner routes, out routes, etc. You get what I'm saying. Crossers, whatever the case may be, it's the best ability in the game. And again, shout out to Ace off Meta. He provided this screenshot on Twitter. That's where I got it from. So shout out to him as well. And of course, obviously that has changed since my last video. I was more on the train of deep in and deep out zone, but I actually do think mid zone is a little bit better. It's going to allow you to play those seam streaks very well, that you're getting just absolutely just flooded over the middle of the field. It's going to help you a ton, and even on your user, it's very well. Again, this is another ability I think you guys should be looking for a discounted on. Of course, same way you did it with the quarterback, try to find it on your DBs or your users. Definitely look for discounted mid zone KO. I also think Pick Artist is still up there as a good ability. I don't think it's nearly as good. I feel like Pick Artist isn't as needed as much as KO, mid-zone KO, so you can put that on there. I just wouldn't recommend putting both mid-zone and Pick Artist on unless that player has both AP buckets discounted. The next most important ability on the defensive side of the ball is going to be Lurk Artist. Lurk Artist on a lot of cards, I'm pretty sure on most, if not all cards, is 1 AP. It gives you improved and spectacular picks for lurking defenders. Now, that is true, but I feel like the ball almost kind of warps to you when you have this. It's like you almost have this magnetic field around you. It's not ridiculous, but I do feel like obviously you get better animations, and if a ball is slightly out of your reach, you're going to be able to catch the ball more. I honestly didn't think this ability was that good this year to start off with, but after using it for a while, I definitely think this is a top ability on the defensive side of the ball that you should have if you're using middle linebackers. Obviously, safeties and free safeties, if you're using those as users, you don't have to really worry about that. But if you are going to be using linebackers, left outside middle or right outside linebacker, definitely want to put Lurk Artist on whoever you are lurking on. So honestly, as well, when it comes to middle linebacker, obviously this Brian Crushing came out yesterday at the time me recording this video. He gets 0 AP Lurk Artist, but another ability that we're probably going to start seeing more is Avalanche Downhill, hit sticks, force fumbles. This was one of the abilities that was on players in the MUT draft, and that's why a lot of people were fumbling a lot. So the more we start seeing this ability on cards, trust me, you guys are going to want to start putting this on. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of game ahead of time to go ahead and start looking out for this ability specifically, especially when we start getting discounted versions of this ability. That goes for any position, whether that's cornerback, safety, linebacker, honestly D-line too, but obviously your D-line is not going to be making tackles a lot of time. You're going to be wanting guys that are going to be out in space to have that ability on. Now, last but not least, of course, we have not talked about the defensive line. The defensive line, the big boys on the defensive side of the ball. I think one AP double or nothing. If you can find this, I think this is DeForest Buckner. Is one of the best DTs, if not the best DT in the game. Currently, at the time we're recording this, again, this is January 14th. So if someone else comes out that's better than this, you don't even have to really look at his stats. His stats are obviously really good, but he has one AP double or nothing. This is going to allow you to grant. So this is what the description says. It says grants dominant pass rush wins at twice the cost. So essentially what that means is you're going to have better pass rush. Obviously, you're probably more susceptible to get stonewalled, but when you have multiple double or nothings on the defensive line, especially at one AP when you can use your AP on other things, it's going to make it a lot harder on your opponent to pass protect, have a lot of time to throw the ball, especially in the meta that we are in with the loop blitzes and everything like that. Having a loop blitz and having this as well to add it to another factor of pass rush is going to make it a lot harder on your opponent to, pass the ball, be able to sit back in the pocket and be comfortable. Ability that I think is really good on the defensive line is going to be inside stuff. I think inside stuff is a great way to shut down the run, especially if your opponent is if he's running inside zone plays. It just depends. Honestly, I have this Jordan Davis. He really doesn't come in unless I know my opponent is going to be spamming inside stuff, or if he's going to be spamming inside zone, I should say, or if I know he's going to run the ball, especially on like goal line situations and like that. But this card is really good because he only gets it for one AP, so I'm willing to put that on this card. Just as an example, of course, like I said, you guys should be looking for those AP discounts on all of these cards. Now, obviously, to end things off, we're going to be talking about special teams. The main thing you guys are going to want to put on that I think is the most important is going to be on your kicker, and you're going to want to put on Zen kicker. Slower kicker meter for all kicks over 45 yards. Honestly, I feel like if you're playing Madden, you should be able to hit anything under 45 yards, but anything above 45 yards, I think it can get a little tricky. So in order for you guys to, avoid that, potentially missing field goals or like just missing it because it's far away, you guys can slap this ability on, especially because we're only going to get better kickers from here. I think this ability is the best one in the game. Obviously, this could change, but at least at the time of me recording this is the best ability for special teams. Now, that is going to wrap up the video today, boys. Hopefully, y'all did enjoy it. Hopefully, y'all, learned something from this video. If you didn't already know how some of these abilities worked, if you didn't really know what abilities to put on, hopefully it did help you guys out. Definitely let me know down in the comment section if it did help. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video, man. Peace.